Moving on to the next topic, increasing and decreasing functions. இப்போ போன exerciseல என்ன பார்த்தோம்? We got the values. We had -3. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? It is decreasing at the rate of 3. இல்லையா? Increasing அப்படின்னா plus இருக்கும். இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல you are going to see you are not going to see values direct, you are only going to see variables. இப்போ variables வந்து increase ஆகுதா decrease ஆகுதான்னு எப்படி தெரியும்? You have two methods to find that. So what is my first method? Definition 1 says that, இப்போ for example இந்த graph நம்ம பார்ப்போம். From this graph what do you see? This is an increasing function. மேலே increase ஆகுது. This is a decreasing function. It's coming down. This is a constant function. Okay, so how do you represent this mathematically? How do you do this? So for example, here is my x1 and here is my x2. Similarly, here is my x1 and here is my x2. Here is my x1 and here is my x2. Okay, so when x1 is less than x2 all the time, correct? X1 is less than x2 all the time. When you have f of x1 is less than f of x2, அதாவது இங்க இருக்கிற value is going to be f of x1 and here the value is going to be f of x2. Sorry, this is not f of x1. This is my increasing function. If this is my f of x1. Okay, in that x1 இருக்குல்ல, so this is my f of x1 and this is my f of x2. So if f of x1 is less than f of x2, the function is said to be increasing. It is increasing like this. When x1 is less than x2 and I have f of x1 is greater than f of x2. இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல f of x1 is greater than f of x2, correct? So in this case the function is said to be decreasing. So that is what is given here in the definition. You have x1 less than x2, f of x1 less than x2, the function is said to be increasing. Okay, this is first condition. இப்போ second condition என்ன? f of x1 is greater than f of x2 and x1 is less than x2. So you have two different conditions. When this is decreasing, it is going to be strictly decreasing. Okay, இந்த இடத்துல equal to sign இல்லல்ல, so I have strictly decreasing and this is strictly increasing. But when I have an equal to sign, இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல equal to sign தெரியுதா? Greater than or equal to, and I also have less than or equal to இங்க option காணோம். So when you have f of x1 less than or equal to f of x2, it is simply decreasing. Okay, not strictly decreasing. Strictly na என்ன அர்த்தம்? Decrease ஆயிட்டே தான் இருக்கு. So basically decreasing na என்ன அர்த்தம்? It is decreasing. It can be constant for a while. Again it will decrease. It can be constant for a while. Again it will decrease. But decrease தானே ஆகுது. In the end it is decreasing. Strictly decreasing na direct decrease தான் ஆகுது. There is no constant values in between. Okay, so this is the difference between decreasing and strictly decreasing. And for a constant function, what do you have? Constant on I. If f of x equals c, so it is some constant value c. இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல c ன்னு இருக்குன்னா f of x is going to be c for all x1, x2, x3 என்னவா இருந்தாலும் x1 less than x2. Okay, this is one way of doing it. What is the second way of doing it? Theorem 1 says that இவ்வளோ நேரம் நம்ம derivatives பார்த்தோம். So how do you use derivatives to find if the function is increasing or decreasing? So when you have f dash of x is greater than 0, it is increasing. F dash of x is less than 0, it is decreasing. F dash of x is a constant na, it is a constant function. F dash of x is 0 na, it is a constant function. ஏன்னா அந்த இடத்துல எந்த சேஞ்சுமே இல்லை, கரெக்டா? அதனால f dash of x becomes a 0 because there is no change. It is constant and differentiating a constant function is going to give you a 0. What is your differentiation basically? You are talking about the slope here. So that is why you are taking the derivative. The derivative f dash of x is nothing but the slope. Okay, so that is why we find that. இப்போ ரெண்டு மெத்தட்லயும் பண்ணலாம். Example 7. Show that the function given by f of x equals 7x minus 3 is increasing on R. Okay, so according to definition 1. So let me solve it in both the methods. Definition 1, x1 less than x2, f of x1 is less than f of x2 na, the function is increasing. And if I have f of x1 is greater than f of x2, it is decreasing. Okay, so how do I do this? I have x1 less than x2. I'm going to multiply both the sides by 7. எனக்கு என்ன function வேணும்? 7x minus 3 வேணும். I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. So 7x1 and the inequality remains the same. Inequality chapter la paathomla. So I have 7 times x2. Now I'm going to subtract by minus 3 on both sides. So I have 7x minus 7x1 minus 3 less than 7x2 minus 3. So this is nothing but my f of x1 and this is my f of x2. So here, so from this, x1 is less than x2. So from here, I have if f of x1 is less than f of x2, then f of x is increasing. Okay, this is according to definition 1. Now theorem 1 use பண்ணி போட போறேன். I'm going to find the derivative. So we have found out that f of x is increasing in the method use பண்ணி. Now I have f of x equals 7x minus 3 இல்லையா? What is my f dash of x? It is going to be 7. When I differentiate this with respect to x, I have f dash of x is 7, which is greater than 0. So from the definition, if f dash of x is greater than 0, then f of x is increasing. நம்ம இந்த மெத்தட் தான் நிறைய யூஸ் பண்ண போறோம். The first method we'll use only when you have to find the value of a அப்படினு கொடுத்திருப்பான். Find the value of x அப்படிலாம் கொடுத்திருந்தானா you can use the first method. Otherwise, to check if it is increasing or decreasing, you can simply find the derivative and check if it is increasing. So in this case, it is greater than 0, so it is increasing. If it's less than 0, it is decreasing. Okay? Please copy. Example 8. Show that the function f given by f of x is increasing. இப்போ f of x என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கு? It is x cube minus 3x square plus 4x. I need to find the derivative. So derivative பண்ணா 3x square minus 6x plus 4. So இப்போ இது பார்த்தா I do not know whether this is an increasing function or decreasing function. So what am I going to do? I'm going to complete the square or splitting the middle term or anything you can do. So I have 3 times. I'm taking the 3 outside. I want the coefficient of x square to be 1. So I have x square minus 2x plus 4 divided by 3. So this is what is inside. When I complete the square, I have in the particular function matram eduthitta x square minus 2x plus 4 by 3. I want to write this in terms of a square minus 2ab. I don't know what my b square is. So when I compare, I have a equals x, and when I compare these two, I have 2ab equals 2x. I just found out a equals x, so I have 2xb equals 2x. From this I have b equals 1. So I can add 1 square, subtract 1 square. I already have a constant. Completing the square method punjada. So from these two, I have x square minus 2x plus 1 square minus 1 square plus 4 divided by 3. Okay. So this, from this I can write this as x minus 1 the whole square. This when I solve LCM edutha minus 3 plus 4 divided by 3. So I have 1 divided by 3. இப்போ நான் என்னோட f dash of x எப்படி இருக்கு? f dash of x, I can write it as 3 times, and the bracket term I just found it to be x minus 1 the whole square plus 1 divided by 3. So 3 is a positive value. X minus 1 the whole square, any square term is going to be a positive value. So this is greater than 0, this is greater than 0. Plus 1 by 3 is also positive, so this is also greater than 0. So from this I know that f dash of x is going to be greater than 0. Okay, punjada. So I have f dash of x is greater than 0. Therefore, the function that is given in the question f of x is increasing. Punjada. You just have to prove that all the values that are inside is greater than 0. இதுல டைரக்ட்டா நம்மளால கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது. So we are finding it in terms of completing the square பண்ணா you will get some value plus or minus. இல்லையா? So அப்படி பண்ணும்போது you know everything is going to be positive. Okay? Now example 9. Prove that the function given by f of x equals cos x is decreasing, increasing, neither increasing or decreasing, but they have given the intervals. So in the interval நம்ம செக் பண்ணனும். So first I have f of x equals cos x. F dash of x and I need to find the derivative, which is going to be minus sin x. Okay. Now I need to check if it is increasing or decreasing. So first let me draw the sine function. So this is going to be my sine function. So this is 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. Because we are talking about 0 to 2 pi. So இது வரைக்கும் வரைஞ்சா போதும். So sine 0 is going to be 0, and this is my 1 இல்லையா? So sine pi by 2 is going to be 1. So I have this again comes down at pi, this again goes down in that minus 1, I have 2 pi. So this is my sine function. Correct? Sine 0 is 0, sine pi by 2 is 1, sine pi is again 0, sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, sine 2 pi is 0. Okay, so this is my sine function. So from 0 to pi, so 0 to pi interval, how does my sine function look? I see that the sine function or the value is in the upper half. So it is over here, correct? It is in the upper half, which means sin x is going to be positive. So I have sin x is greater than 0. Values that are in between 0 and pi, all these values are going to be positive, correct? So sin x is greater than 0, but what is my f dash of x? F dash of x is going to be minus sin x. If sin x is 0, from here if I multiply by minus, I have minus sin x is less than 0. So I have f dash of x is less than 0, which means from 0 to pi, f of x is decreasing. Since the derivative is going to be less than 0, it is going to be decreasing. Now next interval enna? I have pi to 2 pi. So pi to 2 pi. How does my sine function look? Sin x. I see that all my values are negative. Now in that it is all negative. I have values from 0 to minus 1. This is all negative. So sin x is 0. So f dash of x equals minus sin x. When I multiply by minus on both sides, minus sin x less than becomes greater than. So greater than 0. So I have f dash of x is greater than 0. Okay. So this is going to be from pi to 2 pi, f of x is increasing. Okay. Now my last subsection is going to be, I have to say that it's neither increasing nor decreasing in 0 to 2 pi. Now 0 lende 2 pi enna agudhu? So from 0 to 2 pi, what do I see? From 0 to pi, it is increasing. From pi to 2 pi, it is decreasing. So basically 0 to pi, it's increasing. Pi to 2 pi, it is decreasing. If for example, you are at your house. Okay. You're going to school. You are going to school and coming back to your house, which means you're still in your house. ஏதாவது நடந்துதா? ஸ்கூலுக்கே போல நம்ம முதல்ல. ஸ்கூலுக்கு போயிட்டு திரும்ப வந்துட்டோம். ஸ்கூலுக்குள்ளேயே போல. Which means if the function is increasing, I'll change the color. If the function is increasing and then decreasing again, you're coming back to the same place. Which means you're still at the same place. So it is neither increasing nor decreasing. Okay. So third subsection, from 0 to 2 pi, since it's coming back to the same place, it's neither increasing nor decreasing. Okay, nor decreasing. So this is from the first two subsections. Now நம்ம graphல பார்த்தாலும் நமக்கு தெரியும். At 0 I was here. So at 0 I was at this place. 2 pi ல எங்க இருக்கேன்? திரும்ப 0 லயே தான் இருக்கேன். இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல இப்படி increase ஆகி இப்படி decrease ஆனதுல என்ன ஆச்சு? I came back to my same place. It is going to be 0 again. So which means the function is neither decreasing nor increasing at 0 to 2 pi. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா? Please copy. Example 10. Find the intervals in which the function f given by f of x is increasing and decreasing. Now you have to find out the intervals where they are increasing and decreasing. இப்போ நான் என்ன பண்ண போறேன்? I'm given my f of x is going to be x square minus 4x plus 6. I need to find my derivative. This is my first step. So I have 2x minus 4. When I take the 2 common, I have x minus 2. I need to find out if f of x is greater than 0 or if f of x is less than 0, but I need to find out for which values. So find the intervals. இப்போ இதுல எந்த interval it is greater than 0 and which interval it is less than 0. இதுதான் நம்ம கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So அதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? My first step 1 is going to be, I'm going to put f dash of x equals 0. So I have 2 times x minus 2 equals 0, which means x equals 2. So in my number line, okay, if this is my number line, I have minus infinity plus infinity and in between I have a 2. So I have the interval minus infinity to 2. Minus infinity ki square bracket varadhu. Minus infinity to 2 and 2 to infinity. I have two different intervals. I have to find out where it is increasing and where it is decreasing. So இப்போ first I'm going to have minus infinity to 2 in the interval எடுக்க போறேன். I need to check if f dash of x is increasing or decreasing. இப்போ f dash of x என்ன? It is going to be 2 times x minus 2. When I take some value that is between minus infinity and 2, if I take the value 1, what happens when I substitute? F dash of x becomes 2 times 1 minus 2, which becomes 2 times minus 1. This is a minus value, correct? So this is less than 0. So in the interval minus infinity to 2, I have f dash of x is less than 0, which means this is decreasing. Adhe madri, now I have 2 to infinity. So here f dash of x oda value enna? x minus 2. You should not substitute the value 2 itself, but take some value that is near 2. So I can take the value 3. So what happens? 2 times 3 minus 2, which is 2. So and this is greater than 0. This is minus 2. So this is greater than 0. I have f dash of x is greater than 0. So in the interval, f dash of x is greater than 0, now the function is increasing. So f dash of x is greater than 0, 2 to infinity. So f dash of x is greater than 0, now 2 to infinity, and here I have a circular bracket, and f dash of x is less than 0 na, it is from minus infinity to 2. So minus infinity to 2. So how do you write your final answer? Increasing in 2 to infinity and decreasing in minus infinity to 2. So this is how you write your final answer. Okay, or you can write it in terms of normal bracket also, square bracket podama you can write it like this. Okay, so basically here the function is increasing, so in the interval minus infinity to 2 la the function is decreasing and here the function is increasing. Okay, please copy. So இந்த மாதிரி தான் நம்ம இன்டர்வல் கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். ஸோ அந்த வேல்யூல நியரஸ்ட் வேல்யூ எதுன்னு சப்ஸ்டியூட் பண்ணி இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகுதா டிக்ரீஸ் ஆகுதா. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் வாட் யூ ஹேவ் டு see. Okay,